Is Iran a nuclear power? The short answer, not yet, but almost. And almost is the most dangerous place to be. Here's what we know right now. Iran can enrich uranium to 60% purity. Nuclear weapons require 90%. The gap between 60% and 90%? About 2-3 weeks of work. Iran is calling this nuclear threshold capability, which means they're one decision away from having nuclear weapons. And after blocking the Strait of Hormuz and crashing global oil prices, the question isn't can Iran become nuclear? It's when will they cross that line? And what happens when they do? Let's be clear about what Iran has right now. Iran operates several nuclear facilities: Natanz, Fordo, Arak. They're enriching uranium to 60% purity. For context, nuclear power plants use 35% enriched uranium, medical isotopes use 20%. Nuclear weapons require 90% plus. Iran is at 60%. They claim it's for research purposes. Nobody believes that, because there is no civilian use for 60% enriched uranium. None. It's only useful for one thing: getting closer to weapons grade. The IAEA, Atomic Energy Agency, has been monitoring Iran's program, and they're sounding alarms. Iran has enough 60% enriched uranium that, if further enriched, could produce 3-4 nuclear weapons. They have the material, they have the facilities, they have the knowledge. The only thing they don't have is the political decision to cross 90%. Yet, here's the term you need to know: breakout time. That's how long it would take Iran to produce enough weapons-grade uranium for one bomb. In 2015, when the Iran nuclear deal was signed, breakout time was 12 months, meaning if Iran decided to sprint toward a bomb, it would take a year, enough time for the world to respond. But Iran abandoned that deal in 2019, and they've been enriching uranium ever since. Today, breakout time is estimated 3 weeks. If Iran decides tomorrow to enrich to 90%, they could have weapons-grade material before the world even organizes a response. That's what nuclear threshold means. They're standing at the edge. And the scariest part? We might not even know if they cross it, because Iran could enrich in secret, in underground facilities we don't know about. By the time we detect it, it's done. So why is this happening now? Look at the timing. 2 weeks ago, Iran blocks Strait of Hormuz. 1 week ago, oil prices spike 15%. 3 days ago, Iran announces enhanced nuclear capability. This isn't coincidence. This is escalation. Iran is showing the world we have economic weapons and we're close to nuclear weapons. It's a negotiating strategy. Iran's economy is destroyed by sanctions. Their currency is worthless. Youth unemployment is 40%. The government is desperate. So they're playing every card they have. Card 1, block oil. Card 2, approach nuclear threshold security. Card 3, force the world to negotiate. Iran is saying, lift sanctions or we go nuclear. And the world has to decide, do we negotiate with nuclear blackmail or do we take military action to prevent it? Because those are the only two options now. Let's say Iran crosses that line. They enrich to 90%. They build a bomb. What happens? Immediate consequences. Israel responds. Israel has made it clear Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Period. Israel has a military doctrine called Begin Doctrine, preemptive strikes against nuclear threats. They bombed Iraq's reactor in 1981. They bombed Syria's reactor in 2007. They've been preparing for Iran for decades. If Iran gets a bomb, Israel strikes, which means war in the Middle East. Regional consequences: Saudi Arabia goes nuclear. They've already said, if Iran has nukes, we get nukes. Saudi Arabia will buy or build nuclear weapons within months. They have the money. They have connections with Pakistan's nuclear program. It's not a question of if, it's how fast. Then Egypt wants nukes. Then Turkey. Then wait. The entire Middle East becomes nuclear armed. multiple unstable regimes with nuclear weapons in the world's most volatile region, global consequences, nuclear non-proliferation treaty collapses. If Iran gets away with it, why can't others? Japan reconsiders. South Korea reconsiders. Every country facing security threats thinks, maybe we need nukes too. The nuclear weapons count, which has been stable for decades, explodes. We go from 9 nuclear powers to 20 plus within years. And every additional nuclear power increases the odds of nuclear war. So why doesn't someone just stop Iran? Israel has been considering military strikes for years. The U.S. has war plans ready. But here's the problem. Iran's nuclear facilities are spread across the country. Some are underground, hardened against bunker-buster bombs. Some are in populated areas. Fordo is built into a mountain. To destroy Iran's program would require hundreds of airstrikes, weeks of sustained bombing, thousands of casualties, and even then, you probably don't get everything. Because Iran has had decades to prepare for this, they've hidden backup facilities, dispersed their knowledge, trained thousands of nuclear scientists. You can bomb the facilities, but you can't bomb the knowledge. Even if you set them back 5 years, they rebuild, and now they have justification. We were attacked. We need nuclear weapons for defense. Military action might delay Iran, but it won't stop them, not permanently. This is where people say, what about a new Iran deal? Here's the history. 2015, Iran deal signed. Iran agrees to limit enrichment. In exchange, sanctions lifted. It was working. Iran's breakout time went from weeks to 12 months. But then, 2018, Trump withdraws from the deal, reimposes sanctions. Iran, facing economic collapse, restarts enrichment. And here we are. So could we just make a new deal? Maybe. But it's harder now, because Iran is closer to a bomb than ever. Their negotiating position is stronger. They'll demand more sanctions relief, more economic benefits, and they've learned deals can be canceled. The U.S. can elect a different president who tears it up. So why trust a new deal? Iran's leadership is thinking, maybe we're safer with a bomb than with a deal that might not last. And that's the nightmare scenario, when the rational choice becomes going nuclear. So what does Iran's nuclear program mean for you? Directly? Maybe nothing. Iran getting a bomb doesn't mean nuclear war tomorrow, but it makes the world more dangerous. More countries going nuclear sex more chances for accidents, miscalculations, or terror groups getting material. And geopolitically, Middle East instability sex oil price volatility. Oil prices kicks your gas prices, your grocery prices, your job security. It all connects. The Strait of Hormuz crisis, your ass studio. Iran's nuclear threshold, this studio. These aren't separate issues. They're Iran using every lever they have. And the world trying to figure out how to respond. Is Iran a nuclear power? Not yet. But they're 2-3 weeks away from weapons-grade uranium. And every day that passes, the world has fewer options to stop them. Military strikes might delay them. Negotiations might work, but require trusting a regime that's broken agreements before. Or we do nothing and watch the Middle East go nuclear. Those are the options. None of them are good. This is the most dangerous nuclear standoff since the Cuban Missile Crisis, and most people don't even know it's happening. If you want to understand more crises like this before they explode, hit subscribe. I break down the systems and conflicts that actually run the world. See you in the next one.